Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Albion TV, and we have a banger of a show for you guys this evening. We have got the climax of this season, the final GVG Crystal League matches of Season 15. It's not all to play for in the rankings, but it's definitely all to play for in terms of the CLC, the loot, the rewards, the silver, and it's going to be level 8 and 9 back to back. A reminder, this is the only level 9 that happens in an entire season. The highest IP Crystal League match you can get outside of the CLC, of course, which we'll talk about a bit later. My name is Lewpac, guiding you through this evening's shenanigans. And of course, joining me is Shozen, Bogul, and Robin behind the scenes. We've got a full complement here, just missing Mr. Tazik, but don't worry, we will have him with us next Saturday for the CLC. You'll get me and Taz together on some of the casts, which is always good for a bit of fun. Right now, I'm bouncing around and I see everybody that you expect to see shows. And are you primed for an evening of action?
Yeah, I always look forward to these last matches at the end of the season where we get to find out who's really going to fill out those final slots in our CLC coming next weekend, and who's going to be like that number one group going in. Who do we expect to come out of the CLC on top? Now, can be honest, Lewpac, I've been wrong a lot.
I mean, I don't want to hate on you, but you have been wrong a lot.
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
If I pick against Cargera wins. If I pick Cargera, somebody else wins.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'll go with the safe bet this season, and then somebody else wins. Talking about that, who are we going in on for our first match? Then we're going to watch
Ron Eliton, the winner of the last CLC.
Okay, I do have the Cargera team here, actually. We haven't seen them yesterday, and it does they are going to get the Cargera matchup, which I believe means Robin will have to jump to his second option. But what's interesting is Cargera is one of the teams running the double healer comp still, and we have talked about this before. Every team has a pocket strat for this match, right? Because if they meet the Cargera team, they can't play the default comp. It just doesn't work against them. So we see Elitan rip out his one-hand arcane. Shekri and Cargera looking for the caps here. Very tanky one. So Cargera on these death givers, his job is to like 100 to 0 people, just find those openings. We have a 3-man team. Shekri, Cargera, and Grafis. And then, of course, we got Ruined and Boda playing the Great Holy One-Hand Curse. So they have a lot of single target burst. Their job is to sort of, they hit people with that Forbidden Stab, which prevents all healing for a couple of seconds. And that is usually their kill opening, which is why we instantly see these guys bring out the double Great Holy Shozen. Because Spiritual Seed on the Druid is awful against Forbidden Stab, because you literally cannot mess it up. You see the seed, you know when it's popping, you hit the Forbidden Stab and it does no healing, which isn't ideal. So the double Great Holy is the tech against this. And look at this, Imagini running Grudge one-hander with Frost Shield as well. They just want to return as much damage to Cargera as possible. And there he goes, bang. So every single team we saw yesterday was running the standard Ironclad, Frost, Crossbow, Glaive, and Nature. But every team at this level has bonus gear for fighting this comp in particular.
Yeah, everybody's got to bring a pocket strategy for this, because if you don't, your standard build is going to lose against them quite often. Down here, I'm watching Graf and Relicer take on Ruined Experience and Bodaville, and they're putting on a good back-and-forth battle, but nobody's really able to take much of a lead. Bodaville gets about half, then Ruin comes in with the big heals, it's over, and everybody's back to top.
Yeah, I mean, that one as well, it's unless a massive mistake is made, it's very unlikely that a kill will appear there. It's much more likely a kill will appear here, though. Elitan with the Royal Jacket and the one-hand arcane, though, he's able to spam those shields constantly. And it's kind of, it's going to be kind of annoying for them. He's using Mimic as well, right? Which gives him a ton of interesting options. Means he can get Protection of Nature, right? So as if they weren't tanky enough with the Great Holy and the Arcane Shield, he can still Protection of Nature as well.
He has a lot of options available for his W right now.
Yeah. If he hits the crossbow, I believe, what does he get from the crossbow? Sunder? Or does he get the Caltrops? I'm not sure.
I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, it's you don't get what they're using basically. You get a fixed option for all of them. Nice to see Shekri using the one-hand nature as well. Here comes the Royal Jacket pump. Cargera looking to hit Imagini, but there we see the stolen protection of nature. This guy has protection of nature and frost shield running. Like he's basically invincible at that point if you couple the shields on top. Cargera does want to find Machu, but I think people have got this comp figured out. I know people aren't really like big fans of double healer, but I do like that something different is being played. What I wouldn't mind here though is actually seeing Grafis maybe sneak off and try and force either the cap or the 1v1, because the one-hand crossbow pretty much wins most 1v1s here. Maybe the one-hand curse could go toe-to-toe with him, but probably not with the build he's got.
I believe the W available is Noise Eraser.
You get Noise Eraser off a crossbow. That's an interesting one. It's probably
you get
not.
Armor Pierced off of Curse, so it does really opens up quite a bit.
Oh, Cargera. I like that. Cargera popped the Mortal Agony, but he didn't commit the Ghost Strikes because he didn't want to... He didn't want to like go into the res pot, and now he gets purged. He's forced that curse. He's gonna have to sprint away. They're looking for the bomb. Imagini chases, looking to finish him. Will he get to the tent? No, he won't. He was.
They get Cargera right at the edge.
One tick from the tent.
But so far, it hasn't mattered much, Lewpac. Currently, they're sitting without being able to get that third cap. They've got an opportunity now. Elitan is going up, but we would expect. Well, they still have to protect against. They have to if they split and go mid cap and home cap right now.
Graf,
that makes it. Shekri comes up.
I like that. I like that play actually, but Elitan can't really cap against Shekri. He's going to play some time and he's going to line of sight. What he should be worried about though is his healer could get one shot here down the bottom. Cargera will have an opportunity to make a play on the healer while they're not doing anything. There's a bit of a back and forth going right now. As you see, Graf and Ruin are still going. Imagini finds Grafis though. I think he found him earlier. Sorry, I was looking at the delayed version. Did he get him? Yeah, he just got him. Nice. So Imagini, Imagini racking up 3 here.
Well done.
Cargera,
I did not expect them to be able to take that home cap there, but this does put them into a very difficult position. We talked about this before.
They had a healer down there while Shekri was up here doing the interrupts. They kind of played that wrong. Grafis should probably have been doing the interrupts.
Right.
Imagini though doesn't have his healer. His healer is running, and there's the explosions. The thing is as well, like the Death Givers, unlike the sword. Oh man. See, this is the thing, right? Cargera's strat was working, but every time he gets the 3 stacks and gets the setup, they've pretty much got a defensive ready for him. Gonna need a Guardian Helm. Grafis is running Grafis was running a Guardian Helm. He's now running a Druid Cal to help with the energy issues, which makes it even harder for Cargera to sustain deep against this curse. And that's why they're playing this build, right? Because they put
there he's gonna go again.
Cargera's gonna pop here, I think. Yep,
they got him.
Protection of nature not enough. Another 8-3 set. Imagini out of energy, but he should get some sustenance shortly. Be okay. Elite looking for the cap. And at this point, these guys, you know, they probably got to change up their strategy because this isn't working.
I don't think they have one that's going to work against this unless they completely change it up, and then we would see maybe the 5v5 meta return. But I don't know if Cargera and his team even bring that as a pocket.
I mean, the key for them, the key for them is Cargera's like assassinations, and that's why they've built their comp to have all of these defensive layers against it. They're gonna try and split and do a 1v1 here. Litan, he's just gonna spam shields. Obviously, he can't survive forever. Although with Magic Shock, he possibly could win the fight if he hits every Magic Shock. Gets a few autos. The funny thing with Magic Shock as well, he doesn't need line of sight. So Cargera hiding behind the pillar actually hurts Cargera. And you can see this, like Cargera will lose this fight, I think. Like the shielding's going to be too much. He's got refreshing sprint. Goes for the blind shot there after the ghost strike, but not quite able to connect. Hits him with the purge. Hits him with everything. And
there's just nothing that Cargera can do in this situation right now.
He loses that 1v1, even though he's got insane single target burst, because he can't get him low enough, right? And Elite can constantly purge his stacks. That's why they're running this one-hand arcane, because think about it. It purges the protection of nature, the dagger stacks, the assassin spirit, and the heals themselves, the heal over time. It just purges everything in one skill, and it's got a very short.
That's really good. Yeah, yeah. So we do have a request from chat. Could you pull out for a brief second and explain a little bit of what we're actually seeing as far as what kind of match? This is supposed to be a 5v5 at the highest levels between two of the best teams that we have in the game, yet we're seeing this very split situation where one team, well, both teams are now using a double heals comp here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so usually it would be a 5v5. There is a standard meta comp that people are using at the moment, but that meta comp specifically doesn't work against this comp that Cargera and the Grey team, Red, are running. But everybody knows about their comp, and everybody has something to counter it if they run into it. So usually they'll run their default comp. They see this, they switch to this, and right now they haven't lost a single. Oh, they did lose one person actually. Graffice did get taken out a bit earlier on, but they were able to hold on to it earlier. Sorry, yeah, Graf got taken out rather. There we go. There we go. This is what they're looking for. They managed to get the kill onto Relica, which does open up a 3v2 situation here with no DPS as well.
Right.
The thing is they've got to run to every cap right now. Like they can't.
They are kind of spreading out pretty deep here. We do see a situation with Elite in here and a 2v1 versus Shekri and Graffice. That might be the play there.
Look at the line of sight play. Elite can't stick this fight, by the way.
No, he's got to leave. But here comes a Magini and Elite and Machu. He's going to be fine.
Magini's in big trouble there. Big trouble. There's no big save. He already used the Holy Explosions, but they do get the shield off. There's one Ghost Strike. It's not enough. Shekri's going for the cap, but they're going to get that interrupt every time. Like he can just
really well.
He could just mimic Magic Shock. It's not like you can hide from him.
I'm very impressed with this pocket comp right now with these guys. They're doing a very good job against something that's been giving people a lot of trouble lately. We've seen a number of teams face off against this. Even this team face off against Cargera and not win against this difficult split comp that they've been using.
A lot of it revolves around the use of the one-hand arcane, counter a bunch of stuff that they're doing. Obviously, having protection of nature and shield and being able to purge all their stuff is insanely strong in this 3v3. Like, it's even more value in the 3v3, right? Because, like, you're purging 1/3 of their players if you only hit one person. If you hit two people, you've purged 66% of their players. Like, it's a lot easier to have massive impact with that skill the less people there are. Because, you know, they're not always going to be clumped up, but it's nice. And the other thing is the switch over to Holy, right? Meaning that it's so much harder for Forbidden Stab to have impact. To the point that I probably wouldn't even use it here. Like, I guess it can still do stuff. But it's like, the thing is against the Druid, it's just a dream because you cannot mess it up, as I said earlier. Graffice getting a lot of pressure. He's going to pop his Cleric. Insta-purge on that Cleric, though. He is 4-stacked. There's the Circle of Life. He's going to be okay for now. He's probably got a sprint, though, because Imagini's going to want to bomb him. He needs to keep his roll available in case there is a bomb. He's going to get healed up. Matthew goes low, but the Holy Explosions will knock Cargera out of the zone. And that's going to be that. The other side of the fight, I take it not much has gone on down there, just
back and forth. I mean, they just get each other about halfway, and that's it. And then it's back to a reset. Very easy for both sides.
Nearly with the cheeky one there. Nearly with a cheeky one. I mean, if I was Cargera, I'd just play dual daggers at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Because the problem is he's waiting for like this Mortal Agony Ghost Strike, but they constantly heal up above that. Elitan, I'm sure he's gone through a lot of energy potions. No, he still has 7.
he's been sucking up the energy pretty good. He's doing okay there.
Say, like, because he's got a Limhurst and the pot.
Magini is completely drained though. He's totally out.
What's his management like? Auto attacks is his energy management. This is the thing. There's no Druid Cowl. So Imagini's actually going to struggle now. His output's going to drop right down. He doesn't have any way to regain apart from auto attacks.
But I think they're in a position right now where they can basically sustain and fall back a little bit, not
Elite
do
turns
as much
out
key pass,
again.
just go
Elite turns out
defensive.
again with no potion.
Yeah.
And I like this from Shekri. They know, like, this is the right play, right?
Yeah.
Imagine he can only do so much with no energy, right? Like, he can't really do a lot. Without Elitan, the other two are very vulnerable. I say that, though, but
There
it's
goes Cargera.
Argera that dies. So,
Oh my
once
god.
again.
Like unexpected there with the split. But you see Shekri goes, no heals there for a moment. They can't rotate fast enough. And rather than rotating down to the two lower than him on the eastern side, he chose to rotate back up, which meant Shekri had to run farther to get to Cargera than I believe that they would have had to do with Ruin. So
I saw what they were doing with the play, though. They saw how low the resources were on Imagini, and they were just... But, like, I think they underestimated how much damage a one-hand grudge curse can do. Like, as long as he's got enough energy for grudge and 4 stacks, you're in a lot of bother. And of course, his auto attacks give him enough energy for the next vile curse.
right, you have if you can weave it properly, which at this level absolutely should be able to do.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to keep up the Vile Curse.
4 deaths on Cargera. What's weird is he hasn't really switched it up a lot. He's going onto the mage robe now, though. He's going to get rid of the stalker, which I feel, because he's just getting purged of his stalker anyway most of the time. The thing is now he's in cloth.
Right.
So he's even squishier. The guy that died 4 times just became squishier. That said, he does do a lot more damage as well. The mage robe will give him the ability to purge quite a few things, including protection of nature. But they need to be purged something. He ghost strikes for 0 damage there, and I think he's just dead again.
He's gonna die. Yeah, again. So well played by the current champs. The Elitan team, Team Pilas here, really doing a fantastic job today against the overall best 5v5 team we've had in the game.
After 10 minutes, though, you should be changing something.
Yeah, I can understand that. Unless they've already got your 8 token.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, you're still playing to win. No matter what tokens you've got, you're playing to win. You should definitely have a plan B in these situations. But these guys just got manhandled, basically. Elitan's going to sit here to cover this. Like, it doesn't even matter if top cab goes, to be honest.
No, they still have the same points, yeah.
Yeah. It makes no odds.
They have to stop one of the 2 blue caps. And otherwise, it doesn't matter.
The fact that the one-hand curse with a royal jacket wins this 1v1 is absolutely, like, you know, it's testament to how strong this build is. Like, I've got a theory that we would see a ton of arcanes if it was a 6v6 instead of a 5v5. I think arcane would have a great place because it's able to be played so many ways as well. Like mid-range leather, you can play it as a DPS, you can play it as a tank. Like, Bulgaria actually is starting to get a bit of damage here, but all he needs to do is go towards Machu, take 1 heal. Oh, Machu. That was a good switch up from Cargera. He stacked on 1, went for the other. But it's, 45 seconds until this is over. Like, no matter what happens now, they lose one way or the other, because even if they were to win a fight and come back, they would only have to lose 2 caps, 1 kill. Like, there's just too many lose conditions now. And did the Cargera team, no, they had this cap initially? They had 1 cap for it, didn't they, at the start? Did they?
They did have 1, and then we saw the split down across the bottom, and they got the bottom one rather than going for the mid after they got a kill on Cargera.
For late 3, excellent as well for each death here. Mortal Agony going to come through, but Elitan's going to be fine. Grafis needs a save. Protection of Nature. No purge available, so that Circle of Life's going to give him a nice top up. But honestly, Bengalis, blue team, Team Pilas, whatever you want to call them, they had that under control, start to finish.
6-2. That's control, very clear. Cargera taking 5 L's on that one. That's more than I think I've ever seen him take, ever, honestly. While we have everybody here, I want to give everybody a quick reminder that on the 8th of June, the update Into the Fray does come out. With that update, we will be starting the Twitch drops here on this channel and many other Albion Online content creators. So if you see somebody that you love to watch on Twitch, head over and go check out their stream. Just put it up in the background if you have to while you're playing the hell out of that brand new update, because there's some really good stuff in there, Lewpac, and I'm super excited about it. But first, I want to talk a
I
little bit
can't
more
wait,
about
yeah.
that match that we just watched.
Well, I what do you want to talk about? Like, this is a comp that did defeat the meta comp and is strong, but then also gets countered by a sub meta. So I think what these guys need to do is they need to think about what counters the counter. And then the problem is at that point it just becomes a game of musical gear, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. Somebody in chat really just bounced out with a question. I want to address it real quick. They said, please don't show Cargera team next match. What we do is we generally pick a team that we're going to follow. We have no control over who they're going to be placed up
Yeah, we
against.
actually followed
And
the Elite Hand team.
yeah, we followed the Elitan team, and he just got matched up against the Cargera team. And it was interesting to see, I want to say, like the alternative strat that they used, like the pocket that they pulled out.
Most people will whip out something very similar to that. Like, it'll be a variation of that one way or the other. What's super interesting though is we're gonna, for the 8 and 9 show, we're gonna be showing every match anyway.
Hmm?
So we got Robin in the back recording matches, so we should be able to bring you every match that's happening. Lovely, lovely. So this is like, I like this, by the way. This is the 4-1 opener. So Zayo, he goes round the back. You see he's going up against the Bogul team. And he just runs there because if the only one person is down there, he'll go for the interrupt and then he'll run to his team just to sort of create a bit of confusion and maybe create an opening for the top cap, which is why we saw Bogul hold position. Just to say, just standing there saying, don't try it, buddy. We know what you're up to, and we're ready to deal with it. Zerfax going Morgana's mode early on. Alexander taking an absolute honking at the start, and Pele caught in a weird spot. Pops his cleric, going to be okay. So cleric is an interesting choice. We see a lot of healers running the obsessive burst. We see Forsaken on the druid robe for the obsessive burst, but Pele likes his cleric robe, likes that extra defense, which I think makes sense, but amplified healing is almost a defensive in itself, Shozen, isn't it?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely. It
also
does help you. It defends you a little bit, keeps you alive. Anything that keeps you alive in this game is defense.
That
Even the
said,
crowd control.
the cleric does give you amplified healing as well, technically. But the good thing about obsessive burst is even if you're not in danger, you can pop it as a momentum thing for your team. Like sometimes you'll see people pop it offensively. They'll be like my team is on top and they want to push right now. So they'll pop obsessive burst, get everybody stacked up and say, look, you've got the juice now, get stuck in. And that often will just win the fight because they're just getting such extra healing. And this particular matchup as well, it's going to be, if you're Forsaken and if you're running a druid robe and the enemy isn't, right, you've got to really make those bursts count and make sure your team knows to play off of them. It's such an important cooldown.
Fantastic positioning there by Zerfax. I don't know if you watched that as he maneuvered himself around the wall there and got the entire other team caught out of position when he was low on health. Really well done to save his healer some extra mana.
Yeah, play on the tunnel vision. Pele going to get CC'd, but he's inside the Judy. Pops his cleric. Inside that Judy bubble, though, he's going to be absolutely fine. Zayo just looking to keep Nick out of the fight for a few seconds. Bomb goes out. But you see there, without the armor pierce, Zayo just shrugs it off. Like, it's all about the Sunder. To the point there that Guess My Name was willing to roll the Sunder, not to take it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, that cap's going to go through, potentially. There is a interrupt coming.
Somebody interrupted us with a file. I thought that was my own for a second. I was like, oh my God, why my file's showing up?
Oh, Nick. He got the cap, but he might die for it. No, they're going to be okay. Looks like Nick. Oh, he's running straight into Zerfax, though. Forsaken. Yeah, there's the obsessive burst. There's the sack off. Sack gets amped as well, I believe, by obsessive burst. So it's even stronger with that. Alexander. One cool thing though for the other healer, Mr. Pele, is he can pop his cleric and he can use sacrifice without taking damage. So that's, and it gets amplified by the thing. Obviously, you can't. You used to be able to sack yourself. So cleric, graveguard.
You
You
can also kill yourself by sacking yourself.
Could you still die from a sack?
I think I don't know if you can still die. I think it takes you down. Like you can't do it.
I think you can in full loop PvP.
You can? Okay, I haven't sacked
I
myself
think
to
you
death in
can't
quite
in
some time.
PvE anymore. Oh, I did it in a
Okay.
dungeon, like just farming a dungeon once. Like, it
Oh.
wasn't great, but that was. I mean, it's not
Aurelia
often.
says we can still die, so I'm gonna take
Yeah.
Aurelia's word on that. Aurelia knows for
Well,
sure.
if you're in a full loop PvP situation, you can still die. What they changed was you can't die in like a HCE or something anymore, because that was upsetting. That being said, like it's unusual to see that top cap go so easily with a 5v5 without anyone dying. It was actually a really good read from Red. They saw the sweep back and they were like, if we go for this now, it's going to be really like reading the cooldowns, making sure it's going to be really difficult for the interrupt. And Zeo is one of the best people at holding a cap. I've seen that guy hold a cap for like 45 seconds on his own against 2 people. Like this guy is insane. Like loses healer, no bother. He's going to stay. But Blue, look at this. Ton of momentum right now. Forsaken, no obsessive burst available. So this is going to be a good opportunity. Blue is wary not to overcommit, though. We did see these guys face off a few times.
Zeo in some trouble here. Gunning. Oh, nice, easy heals. We did get some more clarification from chat. Chat being very helpful in this. They said there was a patch like over a year ago. You don't get killed now, you get downed. Same with the dagger. So in this kind of PvP situation, it'd be interesting to see it downed. Be an interesting execute situation. I would just leave him there.
What, for 3 minutes? I mean, the fight would be over because his team's not going to stay. And actually, I mean, no, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I do think they die in this situation.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope
Like,
so. There's some chat like going on.
It would be worse to get knocked down in this
It would
situation.
be terrible. 3 minutes of CC.
I'd just be leaving that man there for 3 minutes while I 3-cap and just be like, all right, he gets up. Now we'll kill him. Like, execute him just before he's about to get up.
Well, I think you can still, like, say you want to die. You know? You still have that option to say, I want to die.
I mean, sure. I guess.
Like, you would immediately click that and go back to 10.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
okay.
but
If you get the option, that's fine. Pele. Oh, Pele got more agony there. He's in a bit of a situation. Lucrative looking to push him, but everybody's split looking to defend caps and stuff. So I like that play. Pele's still in a bit of trouble. Bogul tries to get the hurricane, but Pele breaks his ankles there with the roll. Gets the other side of him and just leaves him spinning aimlessly in the void. Bogul, what about that cap, bro? Bogul, you not going for that cap there, dude? You're not going for nope, not going for that cap. All right, Blue gets the cap, I guess.
Oh,
interesting. Okay. They kind of got all in for Pele now.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeo was playing super aggressive there, but he's fine. Like as long as he has his cape available, he's pretty much unkillable when the cape comes online. And it is a Mortal Agony. So there's the glaives are either running Mortal Agony or Purge. Personally, I think I prefer the Purge, but you know, Mortal Agony is actually kind of spammable and kind of strong as well. I mean, both are like super strong helmet choices for a bruiser. I like both. Personal preference for me is the Purge, just because of that like surprise factor, especially if someone's trying to man up with their cleric and you insta purge it and they're like, oh. Do you know what I mean?
It's separated here if they collapse.
Forsaken's right by him, but I don't know what Forsaken's got in terms of defensive. He's popped the obsessive burst protection nature. He needs to buy like a second. Oh man, he needed like a second, but they got the Mortal Agony flick combo. He actually harpooned him and immediately flicked him just to get as much damage out. Like usually you would hold that combo to like wait till the root's about to expire, then flick them. But he had Mortal Agony on.
Nice.
So he wanted to do as much damage as possible. Bogul needs to interrupt that.
Oh, nicely played by all players there. Like we had the hook, we had the bop, we had the swap. Everybody did what they had to do, but just too many outs by the blue team there and gets the cap. Well done.
Yeah. Now the worst thing you can do here is take a 5v5, right?
Yep.
Immediately you've just got to scatter. You got to scatter to the other caps and get one back ASAP. No matter how it goes, right?
And they're gonna brawl. They're gonna take the
I,
5-man
I
brawl.
hate I hate the brawl, Shozen. I absolutely hate the brawl. You're pretty much guaranteed to lose a 20 tick during
Mhm.
it unless you find something very quick. Lucrative actually finds a really good pick on to guess my name. They actually force out the cleric, the grave guard, the pawn. Like a lot was used. Zerfax, who we saw, we see Zerfax die like 5 times in a match yesterday.
The only time I
Okay.
think it's okay to do the 5-man is when you push the
Alexander, go back
5-man to
and
the
cap.
center cap. Like, if you go to
Alexander,
center
go
cap.
back and cap. Somebody go back and cap.
Like,
Oh, man.
here's another example of where you can go split. Like, you've brought 5-man to a far enough position away. Now you split and go back, go north, go west, either or, but you got to get something. You can't brawl here in the
You can't just
center. This
roll
is
here forever.
useless.
Look at
Yeah.
Zerfax as well. Zerfax playing behind the wall, just spamming shards.
Oh, he's happy as hell. He's
Like
gonna have a good time.
he's loving life right now because he knows the Ironclad can't get him, the Glaive can't get him. Like, yeah, Alexander knows now. So it's gonna be like Ring Around the Rosie with the interrupts. They need something on Zayo. The hook. There's the flick. He should get it. Yeah, they know and that's the read from Zayo. Zayo immediately knows that he's not gonna get it. So he does the second he's aware, he doesn't waste any more time trying.
Mhm.
He just gets straight back to the fight. And this is, it's the little margins like this that win matches. Alexander, big trouble there. Mortal Agony. Oh, I think it was just at the top of my screen. I think the heal came out just before Mortal Agony. So it didn't quite connect. Because, of course, even if you get healed after the Mortal Agony, you're still basically at 0 armor. And even if you got Protection of Nature, Mortal Agony will remove Protection of Nature essentially, and an extra 40-something armor on top.
I feel that Red is really choosing the worst place to play in this situation. Playing in the center like this, they need to move up into a position where they can actually target one of the caps.
Oh,
because now they're going to lose time. Even now they're going to lose time.
They kill the
Unless
enemy
they kill the healer. You know, that's good.
I know what you
But
mean. Like, they're not able to quickly get on top of
Zerfax
that
is going.
cap, but
Zerfax is going for cap. Like, he's going for. Oh, he changed his mind. Hopefully they scouted him.
yeah, I mean, going straight for the back cap was a good shout there. Zayo, he's going to hold this one. Oh, Forsaken and Lucrative need to be careful here. They're not invincible. Oh, I guess my name played for the interrupt and died. So he changed that together. Forsaken needs to be very careful. The healer's coming back any moment. Here he is. But he's actually got 3 people that need healing.
And he's gonna lose. Oh, this is the worst timing. If they can get one more, get the flick on Zayo.
This was like, oh wow,
they just tent. They took Lucrative to the tent.
More
He's gonna go
as well. Oh, nasty. Nasty. They got 3 cap though. Nick,
though. Yeah.
Nick's going in the tent as well.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
Oh,
Alexander though.
Oh, nice blink there. Freeze all 4 in place. Okay, so we got a 4v5 very soon. Just waiting on the respawn of Zerfax.
And look how quick the points went back to close here, and they're about to flip in favor of Red so quickly after that. Those 6 points per death now really add up very quickly.
Yeah, you really feel it. And the thing is it's so much worse dying like that later on because of the long respawns. And I honestly think it was a misplay to go for the top cap because that essentially chained together 2 more deaths, which is worth more than the 10 points you saved. And it costs your team a ton of time in getting back into the fight. Forsaken, hard dive onto Forsaken here, but the harpoon doesn't connect. Kicks, you needed that one. He does find the flick. They find the stun. But Forsaken, he's got Mortal Agony. Guess my name. Gets absolutely blasted. Nick and Alexander connecting from the east. And just, I mean, yeah, it was ruthless there, that takedown. And all of a sudden, this Elevate team just sees the match slipping away.
I think they've got Pele. I think they've got Pele here, dude.
He's got Cleric. There's no purge. So he gets 3 seconds.
He's got the heals. He's still under pressure, but he's backing out. Okay. I can't believe he survived that. Very well done. And nobody was able to swap to anybody else on the team that entire time. They were just dropping and unloading on Pele. That's free game for everybody else. And now we're seeing Lucrative get pressured. So
and
it's
the
a good
Cleric
swap
gives you exactly enough time to get the seed off and have it proc, you know? Oh, and they're going to grab this cap as well. Yeah, look at that.
Good
flick.
play. Good play by the Elevate team.
Gets them back in the game. It's going to be. And you see everybody taking the long way up to the mid.
Well, they're playing in the right position. Remember how earlier we were saying that the red team wasn't playing in the right position to get
Yeah,
caps?
playing a bit far.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was more like that open cap is so much harder for the healer to hide. Like if they played for a healer dive on Pele and on that center platform, like where does he go at that point? Up here, you know, he's got these little walls to run round. He's got a pillar on each side. He's got this big central junction. And like, you know, if in doubt, he can run the other way. You can't really run through the enemy team on that central platform. Alexander takes a beating. Guess my name went hyper aggro. Nick returns a little bit. Guess my name. He's got the cleric. The Mortal Agony went out, but the Mortal Agony lasts like 4 seconds and the cleric lasts 3. So going to be fine.
Zerfax is going to have to bail.
Ooh, double blink. Very, very close to that harpoon connecting. Pele's in a horrible spot, though. I don't believe he's got cleric here. Mortal Agony going to connect. No, he does have a cleric. Okay, so guess my name and Pele don't have clerics right now. Either of them could die, and Pele's
Zerfax too. Zerfax is out as well.
Well, Zerfax doesn't play cleric anyway. He's going to play.
He's out of his out. He has no more.
There's one.
Blinks.
They're going to look for more, and this could be game. This is probably game here. Like, if Pele dies, it is over. He might have cleric. He's got cleric coming up in about 5 seconds, I believe. Gonna survive. And guess my name. They're very close to the tent. They should see it. But guess my name should probably ride immediately to the East Cap. I think this is the only play right now is straight to the East Cap. He is going to be alive any second. He will have time. It's just look at Bogger. Look at Bogger. He knows. Like you can see on the map, guess my name. Sneaking down there. Bogger Sweet is already watching it. He says no. And
People
he's got a
their hands, Lewpac. They're seeing they have 5 fingers. They know how many players they need to see on the screen.
No. Because that's the only way they can come back into this game right now.
Right now,
right?
Yeah.
Because even a healer dive doesn't get you the win because you just suicide for caps. So guess my name. Went for the only play available, but when you know that when you know something is the only play that's possible, you've got to be ready for it. And yesterday we actually saw a bunch of teams like fail that discipline check, and I mean one team actually lost the game because of a really early. I think it was like the first kill. He just respawned, ran to the back cap, and took it. And then in the confusion, they converted it into a 3 cap, and then it was like But here we see Elevate. Go down on kills and on points there. Very close game though. Very enjoyable match, Shozen. I really liked it. But we are around 20 minutes away from the big boy matches, Shozen.
Let's see who they're going up against. They're going up against the Cargera team, so that's really going to make the audience super happy.
That's going to be loving their life right now.
All right. Glad I could help you guys, and I hope you enjoy the match.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so we did say this earlier. Okay, these guys, they've whipped out the one-hand arcane. They've whipped out the double healer. Lasagna Man is still on the ironclad, though.
He's still ironcladding it up.
Which means they're on a double tune. They only have 1 DPS. Chosen. They only have 1 DPS, and they do have the druid, which is kind of bad. But where on earth does the kill come from? If you're Cargera, he's running a purity now, so he has decided to switch that up. Their Cargera team is running 5 cloth, which you probably can get away with against 1 DPS.
It's so wild.
Yeah. Oh wow, Boda kills Fanex. All right then.
Okay, well, all right. Man, this is gonna be an interesting.
This is so weird. You can't. I mean, I'm just looking at the scoreboard right now, wondering how they get a kill with just a frost. Like Fatnex is gonna get absolutely bullied. Like
he has a hammered. I don't know what they're doing.
Fatnex doesn't even have a res point. He's on energy potions. How does this man survive?
Doesn't.
Bonazera and Cargera haven't ate their food yet either. Just FYI.
It's 2-on-1 just to prevent Cargera from taking the cap.
Yeah.
They can't do any damage to him. They can't push him off. They have to wait for Fatnex. Fatnex comes over, and then they're going to have Grafis and Cargera double team him. Angs is already almost dead for some reason.
Yeah.
This is not the pocket comp, guys. You got to work on this one. I'm a big fan of the Lasagna Man team here. I think they generally do great, but I haven't watched them
Yeah, but
play a lot versus this comp. So
the problem is the Cargera comp has already been figured out and countered. So just run that. Just run what Elitan was running, because that works. It makes sense. This makes no sense. Like, where does your kill come from?
we have people in chat asking us to skip this one. Well, we're going to watch both matches. We only have two. Yeah, we're going to watch the other one after this. Yeah.
Hey Apple. So the thing is there's 3 lethal DPS here. So one mistake and you just get shredded. And if you the frost on its own isn't killing anybody, so this 2 cap will remain in place forever. You can't force a 5v5 because they'll just split onto your other cap.
Right.
Yeah. No, this is an example of, like, you know, when you are outdrafted, basically. And I don't know why this is their setup for it. Lasagna Man should be on a DPS in my mind.
Right. He should be on anything else. Like, he knew there was a 1 in 4 chance that he'd be facing these guys, and they didn't seem to have a plan for dealing with it.
Well, they did, because Aang pulled out a double healer, and Aang's pulled out the one-hand arcane, which is almost right. That's almost correct. Except that they ran a nature healer and they forgot the other DPS. Unless Lasagna Man didn't prep his sets for this. Which is the only other thing I can think of, because, like, these guys, every single person on this team has played a far more high-level Crystal Leagues than me, right? So these guys are fully aware. Everybody in this match right now is fully aware that this comp does not work. It does not function. It doesn't have a win condition. Like, the win condition would be get the cap advantage and never, ever die, right? But you have to get the cap advantage for that. And right now, they're actually getting back capped into a 3.
They're going to get back capped into 3. Oh, my. Oh, this is... I don't see any chance for them to come back in this situation. There's 0 kill pressure on this team.
You know the certified banger thing that we're making?
Uh-huh.
We need something for the opposite.
Ooh.
The giant circus tent. Right, so here we go. Back to the drawing board, boys. Into the tent. And have a little think about this.
Certified.
Have a little think about this, right? Think, how do we get a kill with 2 guys with duties and 2 healers? Like, Fanex is a very good player, Shozen.
They're all good players.
Nobody doubts that Fanex is a good player. He's not good enough to be the only DPS against 2 healers.
Well, I mean, Aang's can go ahead and grab some W's that do damage, but... No, there's nothing here. There's nothing here.
Double magic shock. I don't hate that. Like, that does some damage, but it's not good. Like, I think they understand. I think they understand that they're not generating kill pressure. The problem is by the time they sort their life out, they're going to be on 49 points. And I think they might switch to default, which is actually horrible here.
So
default doesn't work, right?
It sounds like they didn't bring the proper gear. And they know that they're in on the CLC already, and that this isn't the end for them anymore because of the CLC. The CLC gives them another viable path to the championship, and maybe they didn't even want to bring out their pocket strat, their proper.
Because they half-assed it then. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying. So if you have a strat against Cargera, right? And you don't want him to see it in the CLC, because the CLC is 10 times more important than winning your level 9 after you've already won 2 level 8s and are guaranteed a spot into the Crystal League Championships. And you know that you're already getting in there. And you don't want to show him what you're doing in the CLC, because you're going to have to face them again, right? You don't want them to know what your strategy is, because the thing we just said earlier about the CLC is totally true. Before you go into each match, you know exactly who you're fighting. So if you're Cargera and you're like completely aware of what this Lasagna Man team is going to do to you, and it beats you, you have the opportunity to come up with a comp for a full week that can beat this team. If you don't bring it against them and you show something different than what you're actually going to use in the CLC, they can't prepare for you. And they
Yeah,
won't be
no,
able to set up
I
ahead of
feel
time.
that. Lasagna Man is getting absolutely honked on this point, though, by these curse bombs. Look at that. Oh, he already got sacked last time as well. So now it's... Yeah, no, I kind of agree to an extent, but the fact that they brought out a one-hand arcade makes me think they were trying to beat it. This bomb will kill him if he
It's
doesn't
gonna
get any
kill Lasagna
damage
Man.
in
He's
there.
dead. There's nothing there. He's dead. Like I'm just pulling out of the ether here for an excuse, Lewpac. I want there to be a reason why this happened. I don't want it to be as simple as they don't have an answer.
Oh, mate, this is rough. This is rough, Shozen, and this one is going to be done and dusted. The 5-man comp doesn't work because they'll just keep pulling you back and forward. And Fatnex is de-gearing with a bit of overcharge breakage here, and I think these guys are just going to call it. To be honest,
I would. I mean, they didn't bring what they needed to do to win. They've shown nothing so far in the first what do we got? 6 minutes of this match, or 8 minutes of this match.
It's like
They don't have anything here.
One of our old map GVGs over in 6. Nice. What we hype up these level 9s the whole time, and then that happens, shows them. But
well, I'm gonna give it to them. I really hope that it's that they have a good pocket strat and they don't want to show it off. And they made a calculated choice of saying, you know what? We have 2 options. Either we can show Cargera what we're gonna do to him next week in a match that doesn't really matter, or we can hold this as...
Well, they're crying about it in Say Chat, so I'm saying they just got
okay,
big.
yeah, they don't know what to do. Okay. So, Volnazera, if you are really upset about double healers, 2 things. 1, we just watched another team dismantle this team. Check out their VODs, prepare for the CLC. Watch the watch that before you go into the CLC. See what other teams are doing against this. There's an entire VOD that you can watch that shows how to beat this team. You can do it. We've seen other people beat them. We've seen people beat them all season long with the proper 5-man comp. What you brought today was not the proper comp. Don't complain about the double healers if you don't bring the right comp.
Whoa, Shozen going off, Bogul.
Well, I mean, just saying, like
He's
you're gonna go throw shade at SBI. I mean, yeah. Well, one thing is SBI knows that it's not great, so they're changing it for next season. It won't ever happen again. Like I know it. Like everybody knows it isn't great. Nobody wants to see a CLC full of double healer comps. Nobody wants to see that. Like it's so long. It's not the greatest content, but to bring out a comp that's not effective in a level 9 Lewpac and then blame the game. Like, say, hey, we're the one team in a level 9 that doesn't know how to deal with this.
I like the Iron Root team as well until they got figured out, but I thought that was quite an innovative strat.
Nobody wants to see it just delete it. Yeah, they did. Yeah, with the upcoming update, Aurelia, with the update that comes on the 8th, they basically make it impossible to do a double healer comp.
Healing sickness will apply just for having 2 healers. Even if they don't even ever interact with each other, the healing sickness will be permanent. But the Cargera team's not going to be upset. They got 4-8 resets off their enemy, 11 million in silver bags each. Plus they loot battle mounts, tons of relics, stuff like that. So that was pretty good. Oh baby. See Robin spamming the global announcement. So this will be a more meta matchup. I mean, I'd rather see like a cheese comp versus the counter than these mirror matches forever. Like it just spices it up a little bit. But I guess when you have these mirror matches, the best team does win most of the time. Or the team that gets those clutch back caps. No 4-1 shenanigans. Nick does hang around a little bit. I think Imagini maybe took a look. Like Imagini was maybe thinking if he times it right and Nick goes straight into the fight, he could straight up ninja the east. Another thing that's changing is the caps are getting moved a bit closer together in the upcoming patch Shozen. So it's going to be a lot harder to sneak them. But I still think with a solid push in one direction, there is still a chance. Especially like if one of you dies and you're being chased to 10. That's when the respawn guy can get around there. If he times it right and he just slips in without them seeing, happy days, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we're going to see fewer backcaps, fewer ratting, but it'll still happen. And I think with the proper comps and the proper situations, you'll still see it. And there are going to be times where it's still the proper move to execute.
Yeah. Oh, lucrative. He's going to get hurricaned into an awful spot there. Litan looks for the separation. Mortal Agony does go out. Lucrative flicked again. He's going to blink back. Mortal Agony. Oh, Protection Mage comes out just to mitigate some of that Mortal Agony reduction. And now Relica might get traded on. Gets into his duty though, and they look to stabilize. This is, you don't want to push too far in this direction without the cap advantage though, because you give away a nice vision advantage, especially for the ranged DPS. Graf, oh, Graf needed to dodge that hook. It was a max range one, and that might cost him his life. Yeah, that was one of those ones that you have to dodge. You can't be caught by that, Shozen. And now Matthew. Oof. Short work of Matthew. You could really feel like the time to kill gets so much shorter in these high IP matches. Like even the difference between like the 1700 and the 1800 IP.
Oh, missed opportunity there. Finally, they get lucrative into the tent. Are they going to be able to secure the kill? They do. Relicer hops in and saves himself. Great plays right there. I did not expect that. These guys are going to have to come out and fire.
They get a 5v4 for a minute, and there's no glaive. So if you wanted to dive somebody, there's one less peel. Oh, nice.
They get it.
Nice
well done.
There. Really well played from Elita, and just managing those cooldowns as well as Relica. Love it.
He's getting very good with this Ironclad. Impressive from a guy who used to be Great Hammer, and how he's kind of switched up to the Ironclad. Really well done.
Well, it should always be the crossbow, right? That caps, because the other three all have like some form of crowd control and displacement. So if all three of them stagger their cooldowns and play properly, it should be very hard to interrupt a cap like that, especially in a 4v5. No glaive. There's one less like of the long range interrupts to deal with. Obviously the harpoon is fantastic for interrupting caps. Litan taking a bit of a beating, but he still has his cape, so he's not too worried. He's going to pop his res there. He doesn't trigger his cape as well, because quite often when people leave their res a little bit late, sometimes you get double triggered and your cape goes off as well, and that is a real
cooldown.
Oh, it's a real pain. I mean, you're basically invincible. As I said yesterday, you have like 928 resistance. Wow. Really well timed. Rooted him at the end of his cape. He had his cape there. It was triggered, but they just rooted
wasn't
him.
enough. Yeah. Well done by the GDL team here.
That
really
was just
pushing.
huge.
Red team doing good.
It was huge by Lucrative. Lucrative timed it perfectly, because you get a bunch of like obviously resistance from the cape. He timed it perfectly for the end of the cape, locked him down, finished him off, and just prevented him getting back to the healer. Credit to all of them. They played really nicely for that combo. And this is the thing, like the tank, if the tank doesn't have either cooldown, res pot or cape, he probably should be the target a lot of the time. Because even if you're not killing him, if you're keeping him low, he can't do stuff like this. He can't. The Ironclad needs to be able to play deep and make those displacement or kidnap plays. Like if you're just bullying him out constantly out of the middle, then he's not able to play Albion, and it just makes the team weaker overall. That's how you win those momentum swings. Lucrative looking for Matthew, but good pill from his teammates. Imagini looks to open up his account. Really good stun from Bogul though, just mitigates a lot of that damage. Cleric use from Imagini. I think he wanted to trade with that, but he didn't really get anything off of it, because they peeled back immediately. As soon as they saw it prop, they were out of there. Relica. While Agony going to connect with him, he's going to jump to safety. Protection of Nature goes down, but he is in no man's land. No res pot. Don't know if it's available, but chose not to use it if it was. Matthew, so again, like focusing on Matthew right after he pops Obsessive Burst really isn't the one. Like he's so hard to kill. Lucrative. Like I feel like he wasted a bit of time there. Alexander finding a nice angle. He's pretty
really
low.
Free casting. Yeah.
He's got to watch it though. Forsaken.
Forsaken. And now Alexander's in trouble. Now Alexander's has got to get out because there's no front pressure. Lucrative being the only other DPS on the field right now. He's gonna Get Nick BR10 right here, I believe.
Nice
No.
peel. Lucrative should die.
Nice peel.
If they play it correctly, Lucrative dies here. Bogger's looking to peel for him. There's the bop. He should have Hurricane available. There it is. That's the kill. The Frosts have more mobility than everybody else. They have obviously Evasive Jump and Frost Nova, which is the blink. Relica. Not going to get it. Still wants it though. Forsaken's back at the fight, so I think they're not going to push this. Okay, they're going to pull back here. 3-3 in kills. It only shows as 2-3 on the top team because there was a war camp kill, and war camp kills don't count as a kill, but they do count as a death.
Yes, they do. Because you're dead.
Yeah, you're definitely dead, and you definitely don't get your loot back either because it's in the enemy tent.
Really a rough way to die, and we've seen some pretty sad tent deaths in our day.
I only count 4. Nope, there's Alexander the 5th. So now they've got this 2-cap. What you're going to expect to see from Blue is you're going to expect to see them play a lot deeper. Like, they don't need to push into this choke. They don't need to press the issue. Like, they've got the luxury of just kiting. As long as they can keep an eye on that cap. If you kite too far, expect a ninja attempt. But, like, you know, they want to drag red through this choke and then only push when they feel they have momentum. And you'll see this. Like, Machu there pops his obsessive burst because he knew that the other one was coming to an end on Forsaken, and he knows if he pumps out some fatty heals now, his team can push pretty hard and try and make something happen. You're not always going to secure a kill off of it, but as long as you keep momentum in these fights, you don't even need to kill them because you're getting 10 points every minute anyway. It's all about
that momentum,
cooldowns, and just pushing and pulling. You know, making sure you don't overextend and get turned on. Just riding your momentum when you've got it, when you've got those big cooldowns available. You know, and it's communication. It comes down to everybody sort of keeping their teammates up to date of their defensives, what they're using. But more importantly, keeping an eye on enemy cooldowns, knowing who the kill targets are, knowing who doesn't have a res pot, knowing who doesn't have like the Martlock cape and stuff like that. Once you identify the players that are available for picking, then yeah, that's what you got to work with. Nick had Protection Nature and a Cleric Robe inside a Judy. So even though he was kind of out of position, he definitely wasn't going down. Machu in big trouble. One more shot.
Big trouble.
Oh, he survives it.
There's the flick. He's not going to survive that, though.
Bogger, he had
the
position swap available.
Yeah.
Saken, they want him. He's not playing Cleric. They're not going to get him. They're not going to get him.
They're going to get grabbed, though.
Yeah. And Bogger should get Elitan here if he plays it correctly. Elitan will swap himself back out. And stun. And he should have his own Hurricane now. No? Oh.
Stun.
Wait, why are you...
Pop.
What? Oh. He tried to be cute there.
Yeah.
Tried to be cute. He was not cute.
Nope. He's gonna find himself 3-capped against.
Back cap though, immediate back cap, really good.
Very nicely played, but it's gonna go down. It's not gonna stay up long enough.
Yeah. And look at these respawn timers, brutal.
Yeah, they only have 3 back. Here comes Elite and Imagini. Now they'll finally be able to move out, but they're 3 caps against. They've got a 3-minute timer basically, bleeding 20 points around.
Oh, Alexander
very hard.
From a nasty angle as well. Like he's the one that can play that angle because of the double mobility. He's not scared of Lucrative's like nonsense. And Relica, wow, that Morgana combo just absolutely hammering Relica from the get-go. He's popped his res. He's inside a Judy, and he's still gonna go down. And that was just Alexander there coming in from the side, absolute man mode. They completely ignored him for the full duration of his Morganas. Another reason why I like the Fiend's Cowl more than the Stalker is because it gives you the ability to just shut that down.
Right.
Like if you need, like you're not going to do that every time.
Body block shield wasn't enough. Oh,
that was good from Graf.
So rough.
Really good block from Graf, but yeah, as you said, not quite enough to save his man. And this is game, unless
that's it. Oh, it's game, Lewpac. Let's be real here.
10 points, yeah.
Like I mean, because the timers on this, they're gonna get back with what, like 55 seconds left before they go out. And that's
Matthew's only just respawned. He has to gear. He has to wait 10 seconds. And this is why you can't get Alexander. Like that
there he is,
instant crossing.
54. I was off by a second. Okay.
He hasn't got
Uh,
cooldowns yet, though. So they can't fight till they start getting healed. He's popped his food, and now he's healing at 46 seconds. And they need 2 caps. Insta kill
pressure on Forsaken.
The problem is at that point, killing Forsaken doesn't even do it.
Oh, you still man up. You suicide for it.
Because they use so much to kill him as well.
That they won't have any ease
they're
left.
waiting they're waiting like 10, 15 seconds for their next big cooldowns. And he's just like, all right, cool. I'll see you later. No worries. No worries, my bros.
Lots of credit to this red team here. Lucrative, Bog Sweetu, Forsaken, Nick BR10.
Yeah, really
Alexander, really well done.
And deserved win there.
Well, I want to give extra credit to Alexander there. Probably a little bit of a payback for getting swapped out of the team.
Yeah, that's got to feel good for him.
Yeah.
Wait, was it Machu in the original Durenton team?
Machu was in the Durenton team, but Machu
swapped him out for a healer at the last second or something.
I believe they had Pele is back last season as their healer, and they swapped healers after Pele left. Machu is a relatively late addition to that team, and so there's another late addition to that team, and it is Graph. Graph replaced 04i20, who is, I believe, one of the top ranked PvPers period in the game right now. He's just one of the top.
Can I actually get you from the Scrims Discord the latest update on the MMR? There's Durenton is the top ranked player on the server right now.
And well, he deserves that. He's pretty damn good.
Ao in second. That Jao guy, Jao444, who we talked about before. And then Imagini, Fatnex, Alexander, and Zero, all featuring in the top 10.
Congratulations to Alexander passing out his replacement.
Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of what you'd expect, honestly.
Yeah. So, Lewpac, any final statements that you want to give here on this?
CLC going to be banging, certified banger graphic incoming, hopefully. Thanks to all our teams for giving us another season of Crystal League entertainment. And into the fray, the non-lethal Crystal League and the Crystal Arena, I'm going to be showcasing it a lot on my stream, with the Twitch drops as well. So you'll be able to see that Monday to Friday in the daytime. And I hope that this is going to usher in a new era, and a new era of prosperity and inclusiveness for the Crystal League, both full loot and non-full loot. But simultaneously, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of the old guard who have kept us with entertaining matches for so long, Shozen. Because some of these names have been GVGing since launch, beta, alpha, even. People like Keeper of Nature, Cargera, these guys go back longer than I've been playing the game, probably.
No, I believe Cargera came in after you.
Oh, maybe. Well, as long as I can remember that. Okay. But we've got people that have been holding it down and keeping this scene active. Because without these top 6 or 7 teams, the top end would be absolutely dry at the moment. And obviously we have an entire expansion aimed at rectifying that, which is fantastic. These guys have provided us seasons upon seasons of entertainment, and I thank each and every one of them. I want to give special shout outs to a few people during it as well. Goof for being one of the most entertaining players I've watched over the seasons. Hyper aggro, never afraid to throw his life away to just do a ton of damage, which I love. Geminex for being an off-meta specialist, always coming up with the most fun-looking builds that always make sense. Obviously, Cargera. Eric for leading so many GVG teams back in the day. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that deserve special mention as well. Any for you that stand out from recent times?
Recent times, well, I have to say from recent times, you already mentioned one of them. I really enjoy watching Zerfax for one.
Yeah,
He's just
Zerfak's a great
very,
player.
very good. He's so good right now. Chicken on heels, just
Yeah,
unbelievable to watch. The stuff that he's been able to pull out recently.
Scyther back in
Durentin
the day.
and his willingness to teach people. I see him in level twos all the time out there doing work. Lasagna Man, they're every single week tanking it up. I know we didn't see his best today, which is one of the reasons why I believe that there's a real chance that it was they had made a strategic decision because they are a very good team. I really do
Yeah,
enjoy
no,
watching
I
them.
agree.
And seeing Elite and his progress as a tank over the last 3 CLCs, just seeing the way he's improved and how much better he has gotten has been a lot of fun to watch. Um, guys, I just dropped the final 3 into chat. Do whisper me to claim your prize. I'm going to once again announce the first 3 winners, none of which have claimed their prize yet. You guys gotta whisper me to claim that prize. Thank you to Meet Your Muffin and Chris Core Times for figuring it out and whispering me. You guys did a great job. You whisper Shozen one. Me. I just wrote me in chat. That's me. If you've
Me.
won, please right click on me or left click, whatever. Click the click button on me. Click whisper. But we had a really cool clip that was sent in from the 20v20s yesterday, and I wanted to show this. This was Keeper of Nature sent me this. It shows you how to win 20v20s. And Lewpac, I want you to kind of explain what ends up happening here because I know you're one of the masters of describing spell interactions. So I think you might like this.
Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, go. I'm watching. I'm watching it on. I'm watching it on the official stream. I'm watching it through the. So we'll have a look. Looks like 2 nature healers fighting over center cap. Um, they both these 2 blight staffs. Okay, so it was okay. So this is a cool strat, right? So basically, you don't if you don't take damage from the auto attack, you don't get interrupted, right? So what he did was he popped a guardian helm at the start to
Yeah.
soak a bunch of damage. Then he drops the Oathkeeper's E, which is a huge shield as well. So you'll see first up comes the Guardian Helm. You'll see that boop goes on. Then the big shield. And so the grey or white portion of his health bar is a shield, which means Uraz's auto attacks
Don't do anything. Yeah.
don't do anything. Because they're hitting shield, not HP, he doesn't get interrupted. You do see an Ironclad there. I'm not sure why the Ironclad didn't just cartwheel him
Swap.
though.
Yeah. I don't.
Because that would have worked, unless he just dismounted off screen. Let me have a look. Does he dismount? Dungeon Realms. No, he walks in. Cartwheels in. Oh, why did he cartwheeled in? He cartwheeled to get there quicker. He didn't have Hurricane? There was no Knight's Helm. There was no Knight's Helm. There was no Holy Blessing from YC. There's just that and that. They get a speed buff. It's a great strat though. It's a cool strat. I like it. Because people used to use it to get into Hellgates against trolls.
So what generally happens, Lupac, in 20s is that we have either a 2v2 or a 1v1 at center cap for quite a while. And
Yeah.
that often leaves a balanced situation where each team has 2 caps and it goes round after round of nobody getting any advantage. But in yesterday's matchup, we had a very quick changing of the point right
Yeah.
away and it put the advantage into Team Pilas and they kept it throughout. We had some really good 20v20s.
The thing is that Oathkeeper's build is very useful in the actual fight as well. It's not like a mid like Keeper and me both used to use like these silly little like rat cap only builds. I remember he taught me this like disgusting cloth bloodletter where the goal was to just like and blow up the enemy rat capper, steal their cap and run away. But those are both builds. The Blight Staff and the Oathkeepers can both function in the fight as well, which is very, very nice if the fight gets dragged over to you or if you have to jump in. So yeah, really cool stuff. Hope to be doing a bit of 20v20 next season as well.
Mhm. Oh, I'm really hoping that how do I say this? The benefits of the 5v5 changes show us how to improve the 20v20s. I want to see like people using that drop in 5v5s as an entrance into the 5v5 system, as a way to make friends to play with in the 5v5 system, as a way to really get people out from whatever else they were doing, whether HCEs or corrupted dungeons, getting into something a little bit more structured and building more 5v5 teams, seeing new 5v5 teams go into the non-full loot and rank themselves up and get some confidence under the belt, and then seeing those same people move into the full loot. And then once the full loot starts to really thrive, SBI goes, "Oh, okay. Maybe
Wait,
we can do something similar for the 20v20s that desperately need some love and attention for the
one
next
step at a
update."
time, sir. One step at a time.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is I am so happy with what we have on the 5v5s this season. So excited to see it. And I can't wait to see what the actual fallout of that is. But guys, do remember, this is not the end. Guys, this is just
It's not the. I don't know.
the
I'm not gonna say.
preview of what you're going to get next weekend. We are done with the nines, but next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, starting at 17 UTC, the Crystal League Championship for all the prizes, all the bragging rights, and all the big wins.
Do
So
not miss it.
do tune in for that. All right,
All the,
Lewpac, do
all
you have
the
any?
team, yeah, all the team information, timings, the lineups, all that. The brackets probably will all go up on the website, the forum, etc. So you'll be able to see all of that ahead of time. But yeah, make sure you keep that locked in your calendar, and we'll see you all next week for the CLC. Thank you for tuning in to a wonderful season 15. Congratulations again to Elevate, our season winners. Very well fought, very well deserved. We'll see you all next week for the CLC. Have a good one, guys.